And then on the sanitizer, there's a little bit of clarification on that. Anybody that just has products like arts and crafts, you only need to have hand sanitizer available. But all of you that have processed goods, even though it's all packaged, and also all the concessions, you also need to have a regular hand wash station. So that means a 5-gallon bucket and hot water and soap and paper towels in your booth. That's per the state. So here's a little bit of what we looked like last year on opening day. This is our drive-through market. And we're not going back there this year. We're going to start out with about 65 vendors and have about 80 plus at mid-season in June and July. So hopefully it'll look something like this. And I'm thinking you all, if you were at the market last year, you'll remember this kind of day. Well, this is what we're looking for. So some details about how things work. And those of you who have been with us, you know about how all this goes on. But anyway, this year.
Gary, can I interrupt you a moment?
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions about the very beginning, the COVID part, about social distancing? And Gary, could you go back there?
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, I had a question. I saw that we need at least one sidewall. Is that right?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to add that in. Yes, everybody needs one sidewall, so that because the state has allowed us to be next to each other this year instead of having 6 foot between the vendors. So that means everybody needs to have a sidewall that's the length of their booth and 6 foot tall. So the idea is that there's airflow front to back, and if everybody brings one sidewall, then we'll have everybody protected.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a quick question about the hand washing station. The other markets that we attend have very, like for instance, my product being bottled. Other markets we attend have recently gotten rid of the need to have a hand washing station. Now we are just being asked to have sanitizer. So I'm wondering if that's a county level thing, if it's different between King County and Snohomish.
Well, King County may be a little bit different. Yeah, they have different rules than Snohomish County. Yeah, but I'll certainly work to clarify the hand wash stations.
I mean, for now, I suppose better to bring it and not, not necessarily need it, right?
Right. We'll have one more update before April 11th. Yeah. Any other questions on the COVID? So what we've been able to do this year is set up an email system. So all of your receipts from your payments that you make are going to be emailed to you from now on and not in your packet. So hopefully everybody has gotten their initial receipts from their first payments that they've made. And please let us know if you have not received a receipt. And then your token reimbursements, and this is primarily for concessions, farmers, and processors. When you receive tokens or other forms of payment, we will either send you your cash in an automated deposit or in a check. And we would prefer you to use the ACH or the automated deposit. And I know many of you are already signed up for that, so that's great. And if you have any questions about signing up, just let us know. It's very, very simple. And you will usually get your money on the on Wednesday following the market. So it's a quick turnaround, 2 days. Any questions on that? Well, here's what we've been dogging everybody about, your insurance and your permits. So these are two items that our insurance carrier is requiring, and also, of course, the health district requires. So, and most of you have sent us your insurance certificates. And that's great. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then I think most of you also have your health district permits. So if you don't, you really need to get in there and get those applied for and approved. They do have late fees, and sometimes what they told me is if you don't get it in soon, they may not be able to get it in at all because they get busy. So this is the link here to Camel Risk, and you can, if you don't have insurance, you can go with them, or you can have your own insurance. And here's the certificate you've been seeing on our vendor updates. Any questions there?
Gary, to clarify, it's for food handlers for those permits, the health
Yes.
permits, correct?
Food handlers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, here's a few more details. When you go to our webpage now, you'll be able to see your vendor profile. And this year, your profile looks like a business card. And I expect that some of you have already seen this. It's a great update from our partner MarketWorks. And when people click on your business card, you'll be able to see all the information that you've provided us. And we would really appreciate if you would all check this out to make sure that everything is correct. And then if it's not, let us know so we can make the corrections. And if you have any questions about our application and registration, our rules and policies that you signed up with, you can go to this link here, and it'll take you back to the very beginning where you registered for the market, in case you need to look back at some of the rules or get some clarifications from website links. Any questions? All righty. Karen, do you want to slide in here?
All right. Yes, it's my turn. Alex, you have your hand raised.
I do, thank you. And do you guys put the data in for the vendor profiles, or would you like us to do that?
What was that question again?
Do you put the data in for the vendor profiles, or should we?
We eventually are going to have a link for you to do that. So right now, if you could just send it to us, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a very slick setup that MarketWorks has come up with that allows you to go in and make changes and then ask for a request for that change to be approved, and then for us to review it and approve it, or not. But it's really slick, and I think you'll all like it once we get rolling here. Karen, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm trying to find where I'm at.
Whoa. Oh gosh.
All right. There we go. Can everybody see that? Okay, so we are starting our 28th season. That's a lot of seasons, right? So thank you for joining us and being with us. I'm going to talk a little bit about all the currency that goes on at the market. And some of you are not food vendors, but you might see some of this currency. So I want you to know about it. And when you show up to check out, Some of you, I don't want to see any of this currency in your packet. So right here are this currency right here, the red tokens. We're going to use red tokens again this year. And that is for EBT for food stamps. And our people who are on food stamps come to the market and they swipe their Quest card, and they're going to get tokens at the market to pay for food. So fruits and vegetables, who else? Coffee. They can actually buy coffee with their EBT and some of those other products that they could buy at the grocery store. We also have green tokens, which we have not been using for 2 seasons. This will be our 2nd season. We will not be using, but our customers may have green tokens. We would like you to accept them so we can get them out of circulation, and we will pay you back for accepting them. So even Dennis, you could accept one of these green tokens for $5. You can give them change back. However, your products, they're never change back. And but you could accept these. Everybody can accept the green $5 token or the $10 token. So these tokens are still out in circulation. And this is an example of you would turn them in at the end of your market day, and we would reimburse you with that ACH check, okay, via your bank account. Do I have any questions just right here, right now? Gary, can you see if anybody has anything?
Yes, just food only, Alex.
No, this one right
Oh,
here.
yeah, the green tokens you can purchase anything with. Yes.
Okay, I see another question. Did I see 2? No? Okay. There's also some other opportunities for feeding our community, and that would be with the SNAP match. So when people come to the market and use their Quest card and get their red tokens to spend in the market, they also have an opportunity to get a match, a SNAP match buck, which is worth $1. So example, if a customer comes and swipes their EBT card for $20, we can give them $20 in match. If they swipe for $40, we can give them $40 in match. Our cap is $40. So Troy, people can come and take their $1 match buck and spend with Troy, because Troy is a produce vendor at the market. These are only good for fruits and vegetables. We also have FMNP, WIC, and Senior at the market. These are checks. So example, if you are an artist and a customer gives you a check for $4, you can't take that. These are only for fruits and vegetables. So these come from the Department of Health to actually aid women, infants, and children. They have a category for fruits and vegetables. Again, no change given. And seniors, fruits, vegetables, and honey. So you see we have a wide range of other currency that's floating around in the market, and we don't want any of our vendors who aren't selling fruits or vegetables or any of those products to take these items, okay? Any questions? Yay! All right, I'm moving down. When you are at the market and it's the end of your day, you can start checkout at the end of your day, and you come to the info booth, and I will check you out, or one of the other assistants in the booth will check you out. You're going to go ahead and bring your packet. So at the beginning of the day, I'll be handing you a packet. And in that packet, you will include your currency, all the currency that you collected for the day, and just bring them to the booth and we'll help you count them in the beginning. Also, when you get your FMMP or your WIC check, bring those to the booth too. At the end of the day, you are also going to check out not only with your currency, but what your sales were, and you're going to pay for the next day you're coming to the market. So at our market, we always ask for payment in advance. So right now you've paid for your registration fee and 2 days to come to the market. Okay? Any questions? All right, I'm sorry, this isn't real clear. I was hoping it was going to be clear. We just made a copy. So this is an example of your vendor packet form that you get when you come, and I pass these out to you. And you'll have a day for every day you're at the market, and you can put your tokens and all your information here that you collect. And there's also a space here where you're going to put what your sales were when you go to checkout. And then on the back of the packet is again the day, what your stall fee is for next week, if you went over a certain amount of money, and then what you're going to pay. And we do ask that every vendor check out themselves. So please don't give your neighbor your envelope to check out. Because if you did something wrong when you were filling out your paperwork, then I have to go and fine you. And if you went home, then I have to call you. And so if you will just do your own packet for checkout starting at 2:30, that will be fine. Question. You guys are so good.
I just wanted to add that along with the stall fee, like you were mentioning there, for your next week's stall fee is the sales fee, which remains at 3%. So anything over $350 in sales during the day, then you'll have an added 3% tagged on to your total fees for that particular day. And that's all right there on the back.
All right, Gary, I'm giving it back to you.
Okay. All right. How about now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we discussed the more details. And so did anybody have any questions about their profiles or the rules and policies that you're able to access? I saw there was one question in the dialog box there. Somebody asked whether we'd be sending this out in a PDF. It's going to be available on YouTube for you to watch at your leisure, if that works. Okay, so the day of the market. Historically, we've been entering at Hewitt and Wetmore, and you can start entering the market at 7 a.m. And we'd appreciate the turn lane on Hewitt turning onto Wetmore will be blocked off. So it's much better if you come in on California or Everett Avenue, coming down Wetmore, and then you can come straight into Wetmore, where we have a market staff who will greet you. And you can also actually turn into Wetmore coming from Colby if you come that way. So just like last year, we're going to greet you there at the beginning of the intersection of Hewitt and Wetmore, and we're going to do a brief COVID check and ask you if you've been traveling to China or anything like that, of course. And and you'll say no, and we'll let you go ahead and proceed to your space. The market staff person there, probably Jean, she'll have a map with her, and will point out your assigned space number, and I'll be somewhere up in the market and guide you to your space. And eventually you'll find your space on your own, because they'll all be chalked like they were last year on the street. Any questions about that? We really do need you to enter at Hewitt and Wetmore, because it just gets way too complicated if you come in from the south. It completely disrupts the traffic flow. Okay, so like I said, we want you coming in at 7, between 7 and 10, and then be all set up and ready to go by 10:30. We have at-risk shoppers coming in at 10:30, like we did last year. And we want everybody to be set up and ready to go for them, and all the vehicles that need to be out of the market, if you're not parking in the market, should be parked. And when you do arrive, we'll give you parking directions as to where you can go. There's several places in the market close by. So the key also to keeping this sort of organized is, if you're going to arrive late, and I would say there's quite a number of vendors last year, probably none of you, but some did arrive late, and we really ask you to text us just to let us know what's the plan, and we'll walk you through the market if need be, and get you in so you can get unloaded. So when you do text, please leave your business name. That's the best way for us to identify you. Any questions on that? Okay. So when you do find your space, we're going to ask you to just get unloaded, and if you park next to your space, that's great. And if not, if you need to park outside of the market, then just unload and get your vehicle moved and parked, and then come back and set up your space. And try to be ready by 10:30, because those at-risk shoppers do like to spend their money. This market, just like the port market, if you are ever there, can have some windy days. So we ask you all to have your 25 pounds on each corner, just like you've been doing for years, and doing a great job getting that accomplished. Okay, so the end of the day has arrived and you want to go home. We're asking you to wait to bring your vehicle in until 10 minutes after 3, just so our pedestrians, our shoppers, our customers can all exit the market safely. And when you're all picked up, if you'll just look around, make sure your space is clean. We've had a leave no trace policy for as long as we've been doing this market. This is our 10th year. Karen and I have done this. This is our 10th year. So please take all your trash, all your vendor trash, your grease, your wash water, anything else that belongs to you. One thing that I didn't add is that we're going to give this a try. We're going to try to have seated dining in the market again this year, which we didn't have last year. So there will be trash cans placed in the concessions area, and also some recycle bins. But all those, the recycle and the trash are for customers only. That's why we ask you to take all of your waste back home with you. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question, Gary. So who is at risk?
Our at-risk folks are, sorry I didn't explain that, are seniors that are 65 and up, folks that are disabled, are possibly using walkers or wheelchairs, maybe they have a scooter, and others that just need to get into the market because they have some mobility issues. And they're a little bit slower than a lot of us. So we give them that half an hour time of head start to get their shopping needs accomplished. There's no rushing on their part.
And last year in the market at 10:30, some days we had between 90 and 100 people entering the market. So that is why we need cars who are not being parked out of the market by 10:30, before 10:30 actually, right, Gary?
Right. 10:30. 10:30 we open the gates.
And no, we're not going to ask people if they're at risk and why they're coming to the market early. So we're just going to take everybody on their word that they are that population, okay? And if you are not ready to serve somebody, you need to put something up in the front of your booth or hang a note that you're not ready for business. And that would be helpful for you so they don't bother you. Okay? All right.
Okay. All right, so we have 2 additional policies, and I'm sure you've read through all of these in when you registered for the market, but we just want to reinforce a couple things here. And primarily, this is through the Snohomish Health District and their rules and guidelines. We really need you to leave any of your dogs and pets at home because the only animals that are going to be in the market are service animals for shoppers. That's per the health district, and we're asking you to comply with that. If there's any questions on whether or not you can bring your pet or dog, just let us know and we'll have a conversation with you. Okay, so you all are familiar with what's going on around the country and everywhere we look. So we just want to make sure that if there's any issues that you think look like discrimination in the market, we want you to report those to us right away. There's my phone number, the 5656, and Karen's is the other 4229, where we also have our staff on the street and you can contact them. If you see any questionable behavior, please report it to us immediately. Last year was a very strange and weird year, and we're hoping that things will settle down a bit. But so please be vigilant out there. We're hoping we'll have no issues to report. That would be the best case. Any questions there?
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the market's policy on open carry? Last year, I noticed that there were both vendors and customers open carrying, and I just don't know what the policy is.
Yeah, open carry is allowed in Washington, and I spoke with the police department about that, and it's completely legal. So we have to abide by that. If you see anything that looks threatening, please report it to us immediately or call 911 and then report it to us. They can have their firearm in their holster or however they're carrying it, but they cannot make a threatening move with it. That's beyond the law. So hopefully there'll be nothing like that. Any other questions regarding those issues? All right. Well, Karen, do you have anything to add?
Did you undo yourself, Gary?
No.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us. This is our first time doing this. We're almost done. So let me find my screen again. Hopefully, ding a ding a ding. This is it. All right. So the next portion is about our social media, and folks, this is how we are connected with your town. Oops. All right. We have many connections with our town regarding social media. We have 3 Facebook pages. We also put ads in the media, the Herald News, My Everett News, Live in Everett, and the Tribune. We have a eye contact newsletter that we send out to over 2,000 customers. We're connected with Visit Everett, Live in Everett, My Everett News, I already said that. And we still are connected to the port, even though we don't live there anymore. So just wanted you to know that it's really important for you to share your information with us if you're having something new via your social media, which many of you have Facebook, Instagram, customer newsletters, and let us know what you are doing or if you have any specials. But we're relying on you also to get the word out besides the social media that we have. And if you go to the farmers market, on the vendor page below the map, there is your listing, and that is where you need to make sure you have all of your information posted correctly. And if you're having any trouble there, I think Alex asked about her description. That is where we want to update that description and make sure everything's there. Does anybody have any questions about that? So all of you who are here, you're all great social media people, and a lot of you already send me your info. But the other 75 people who aren't here, we need them. So just imagine if all, say, 75 of you did social media for Sunday. You know, you can also do live Facebook on Sunday. Papa's does that really well. He always does a video at the beginning of the market. And of course, you know, anything that drives people to the market, to your booth, comes for everybody else. Any questions? Gary?
I just wanted to add one little thing, a clarification. With Visit Everett, that is the city of Everett's branch of tourism. So we're lined up with them. They didn't have a booth last year, but we expect them to be out in the market this year and promoting the tourist side of the city.
Okay, we'd like to ask if anybody else has any questions.
I have a quick question. And this might have already been answered, but is masks mandatory for all customers this year again?
Gary, you want to answer that?
Yeah, we'll ask. We have signage at the beginning of the market on each end, and the signage will be out just like it was last year. And yes, we will be asking folks to wear masks, and we'll have masks available and sanitizer available for all those shoppers that enter the market. We're not able to enforce, like we can't say, well, you can't come in the market if you don't have a mask. But we're going to ask you, our vendors, to not provide service to those that don't have a mask. So just say, we're sorry, if you don't have a mask, we're not allowed to sell to you. And maybe they'll go get a mask. But so we'll have them available. And the other thing is that the health district will not be in the business of enforcing anything other than concessions and making sure that everybody is doing all of their hot and cold food correctly and abiding by the rules in their permit. That's all that the health district will be enforcing this year.
So I have a question. How many of you have had your shots? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. So we're not going to ask people if they've had their shots or not. I mean, that's up to you, but we want you to think about your safety and be safe and wear your mask. And you know, if a customer comes up to you and isn't wearing a mask, not serve them. If you have a problem, please come to the information booth and let us know. It's a very touchy situation, and yes, unfortunately, we can enforce. We may see families coming together in groups like we did last year. That's fine. People can be with people who they know and who they enjoy, and that's fine too. So, in the beginning, on April, how many of you that are online with us are going to be with us on April 11th? Raise your hands. Okay, that's coming up really soon. So this is we call this our practice market, and we'll see how everything goes. So really, really appreciate the fact that you're going to be there with us. Gary.
All righty. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I hope you have all gotten lots of good information and probably information you've heard in the past. But so it's just review. But again, if you have any questions, you can ask here or send us an email. That's fine. We'll answer any questions that anybody has. And I'm sure we don't have all the answers yet, but we'll definitely get them for you. Karen, question?
No, I was waving goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
Thanks,
Well,
you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
thank you all.
We'll see
and
you
we'll
all
soon.
soon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.